Union Station is the latest public space in Denver to come into the city's crosshairs after complaints about a rise in crime prompted RTD to shut down bathrooms and the police department to promise more patrols there. It's certainly not the only place to get the city's attention over the last few years. And when these places make headlines, those headlines often focus on the problem rather than the solutions. So we checked in with a few of Denver's trouble spots from years past to see how they're fixing things.
Happy holidays. Hi.
Parks are for people.
Glad you guys are in the park.
And it's pretty easy to tell Scott Gilmore is a people person.
It's exciting for me. This is what my job is about. But it's also about making those hard decisions.
Denver's Deputy Director of Parks and Rec made one of those tough decisions, shutting down Civic Center Park this year because crime was getting out of control.
On the Broadway Terrace, you could actually go and get meth, heroin, fentanyl easily. That is not acceptable anymore.
They're adding brighter lighting.
The cameras are going to be getting installed and all the poles are getting work done on them. So
they're also adding more park rangers and trying to get people help.
We need to be there to really try to provide programs that help them do that.
Working in a downtown urban library, you get to see everything that's happening in your city is also happening in your library.
Across the street at the Denver Public Library,
we want to be the place for people.
Rachel Fuel, the Central Library Administrator, dealt with a similar problem a few years ago. People dealing drugs, others overdosing in the bathrooms. They've made changes too, though many are currently behind construction walls.
We lowered shelving on almost all of our floors, so that really helps with visibility for our staff just to see further than just being in kind of a mountain range of book stacks.
More importantly, they've hired more people who can help, so they're not pushing people away.
We want to be that first connection spot for people in the community, and it takes your leaders saying, that's what we're doing.
One of Denver's early success stories might be the Cherry Creek Trail.
We don't have the drug dealing along the trail anymore.
Parks and Rec installed new lighting and new signs in areas where drug deals were going down.
We actually made it no stopping, no standing.
Gilmore says that they'll use some of those same tactics in Civic Center, permanently closing some grassy areas.
But you will not be able to just plop down in these areas and just, when you start having gatherings like that, that is when you start having drug dealers show up.
Changes he hopes will breathe some new life back into the park.
Happy holidays! Come down to Chris Kindle Market and spend some money. Yeah!
He's a good salesman. Denver Parks and Rec will have those cameras installed in Civic Center Park by the end of the year, Gilmore said. They'll allow people to pass through those grassy areas, but they won't allow people to hang out there unless they have a permit from the city for an event.